Hey there, Diane Villano, Chief Motivator here at Fitness St. Pete. So happy fall, heading into Thanksgiving and the holidays, and this is one of my absolute favorite times of years. But it also compounds a huge problem that many people face during the year. So one of the biggest things I hear in consults or see on my social media feeds is, I wish I had more willpower when it comes to junk food, or I would do so well if I could just stop eating so much junk food. So tonight, and I know there's been an uptick in that with Halloween because of all of the extra candies in the houses and that the kids brought home. I know a lot of people are already starting to have candy and things brought into their offices. So tonight I want to share with you 6 really super simple tips to stop eating so much junk food. Now, before I start, real quick, I've got some links for you. There's our 3 member favorite fat blasting pumpkin recipes. Awesome, free link above. I've got also a link to our Everything Pumpkin Guide, which has 8 really, really good pumpkin recipes. And then there's a link above also to the transcript to this live, that where I actually talk a little bit about what junk food really is and go dive a little bit deeper in. But for purposes of the live, hey there, thanks so much for tuning in. Drop a comment. Hey Roxy Roo, hit the like button. Let me know how you're doing with the junk food. Is it an issue? Yeah, let's rock and roll. So here's the thing. For most people, Halloween starts a super slippery slope of increased sugar cravings and junk food intake. And it usually starts with like 1 or 2 pieces of Halloween candy, and it sets off a blood sugar nightmare that ends on January 1st, 10, 15, 20 pounds heavier, hating the way you look in your pictures, and vowing to make another New Year's resolution. So we're going to rock and roll this year. I'm going to be here, give you all the tips, tricks, strategies you need to get a handle on the junk food. We'll start with that tonight. And then I've got recipes and a ton of tips coming up over the next 9 weeks to make sure that you maintain and don't gain this holiday season. Because you know I'm all about helping Tierra Verde and St. Pete's over 50 people do their best and get their fit on. So here's the thing. Most people don't realize, and so the junk food thing is not entirely your fault. Studies have shown that junk food may actually reduce your desire for other varieties of foods, and it can trap you in a completely vicious cycle of unhealthy eating. So you may have even noticed that, like, if you had some junk food or maybe you ate some fast food, you tended to crave more of it. So, yeah, it's not entirely your fault. The food manufacturers' foods are filled with garbage that are absolutely conspire to keep you craving that junk food. But I promise you, follow these 6 tips and embrace them, and I guarantee you'll be able to enjoy food, friends, fun, festivities, and arrive in the new year in a body that looks and feels amazing. Because here's the thing. I've been doing this for 23 years, not my first time at this rodeo. So these tips that I'm going to give you have been tested, tried, and true with almost 3,000 people. So yeah, we've gotten the reputation over the last 3 years since the launch of the new brands of being the place you come to when nothing else works, or of producing miraculous results. The reality is it's just a systematic application of really, and consistent application of really simple habits. So yeah, so click the link above if you want to find out exactly what constitutes a junk food from my perspective and from the perspective that we coach our clients on. You can hit the link above. I've got all those 3 links up there for you for all the goods. So now here you go. Tip number 1, this might seem really super simple, but stop and drink a glass of water and wait 15 minutes. And I know you've heard this a jillion times, as the be and all of weight loss. And it's really not. However, it is a very important component because oftentimes thirst masks itself as hunger. So when you feel like you're hungry, you may just be thirsty. And if you drink 8 ounces of water and wait 15 minutes, most people find out that they're not really hungry anymore. So yeah, I don't know. Drop a comment, hit the like button. Let me know you're here. Let me know if you've tried any of these, how they've worked, what you're struggling with. So that's one of the reasons that I love doing these lives, is because then I can sit and interact with the community, and I can really give you everything that you need, because it's about you. It's not about me. So yeah. So you drink your water, you wait 15 minutes, and see if you're still feel hungry or feeling noshy, as they say in some circles. And here's the other thing. When you do that, it gives you a few minutes to halt. And this is a principle that we teach, we coach our clients. And halt is really, number one, ask yourself, am I really hungry, or am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? So I had to check my notes here. I get a little bit off on that one. But oftentimes, simply asking that question, am I really hungry, or am I angry, lonely, or tired? Oftentimes that's curative in and of itself, because you will realize you are not actually hungry. Because I'll tell you, in my 23 years in the fitness industry, most people are headed for junk food for reasons other than actual hunger. And if you're angry, take a deep breath. You know, we coach our clients, inhale good shit, exhale bad shit, and really relieve the stress. If you're angry, you can stretch, you can meditate, you can take 5 simple seconds to just breathe and focus on gratitude and focus on the things you're grateful for. You can take a few minutes and play with your dog. You can now, if you're lonely, you can go for a walk, you can call a buddy, text them, or sit down on social media and reach out to some people you haven't reached out to in a while. If you're tired, drink some water. Oftentimes that will help invigorate you. Do a few jumping jacks. Do anything to get the blood flowing. So now, if you've done halt and you realize that you're not angry, you're not lonely, you're not stressed, you're not tired, but you're actually biologically hungry, here's what I want you to do. I want you to focus on adding instead of taking away. Because there are so many studies that focus on the positive side of healthy eating and how it's much more effective than focusing on the need to remove junk food. So say, for instance, you have, like, I know Roxanne, she's great with this. When she's craving something sweet, she does some Greek yogurt with a little bit of protein powder in it, and it makes like a little custardy pudding deal. And that satisfies her craving without inhaling all of the chemicals, all of the preservatives, all of the junk that's going to be a blood sugar nightmare and is going to cause you to crave more sugar and more junk food. I like Greek yogurt with some fruit and nuts. You can, if you're craving something sweet, you can do fruit, and some cheese or nut butter is awesome. If you're craving something salty, you can do a couple of eggs. So those are my 3 personal go-tos. The more healthy foods you add in, the easier it will be to crowd out the unhealthy ones. And believe it or not, in time, you will actually crave the junk food. That's my girl. You had your one and then got it out of the house. Yeah, well, and that's why you look the way you do at 54. So that's what I want you to do, is really focus on, when you're craving a junk food, don't think, I can't have that. Think, what can I have that's going to taste just as good and make me feel good? And I want you to also make the distinction between, and we coach our clients, don't treat your body like a garbage disposal. Junk food may taste great going in, but basically you're just pouring a bunch of empty calories into your body, and you're treating your body like a garbage disposal. So yeah, if none of the wholesome foods sound sound good, and you probably hear that, oh, nothing sounds good. Well, then, my friend, the reality is you are not actually hungry. You're just simply craving man-made garbage, and they perpetuate this because of the stuff that they put in it to keep you craving it. So it's really not your fault, but you need to be aware of it. So yeah, number one, halt. Am I hungry, or am I angry, lonely, bored, tired? And then two, make sure you're actually hungry. If you're actually hungry, go for some nuts, some Greek yogurt, some cheese. And if none of those things sound good to you, just admit that you're not really hungry, and find something else to do with yourself. Now here's number three, and it also ties along with what I just said. Eat more protein and fiber. Protein and fiber simply just make you feel full, and they keep your blood sugar level even. So if the more you fill up on that, again, the less junk food you're going to crave. Like I said before, eggs, nuts, yogurt. You can, I like a little crunchy, so sometimes I'll put a little hemp seed in my yogurt, or a little hemp seed in my nut butter, and spread it on apples. So any of those things. But the reality is, the more full you are, the less junk food you're going to crave. So number four is get rid of it. It's as simple as that. Keep it out of your house, keep it out of your car, your office, and I have a lot of people who say, well, I don't have a choice. I was just having a conversation with a client yesterday, and she said, it's so hard. We have so many birthdays and events at work, and there's just so much garbage around. And she has her eggs, and she has some snacks that she keeps, and but the reality is, if you're in an office, you can avoid it. You can just make sure it's not in your eyesight, and make sure you don't have any directly on your desk. Now, with kids, it might not be quite as easy, but here's the thing with kids, because I hear, but my kids, or but my husband. So here's the thing, who's in charge? Your kids will eat what you buy. It's as simple as that. And while I'm on the topic, why are you feeding your kids processed man-made food-like substances that'll set them up for a lifetime of bad eating habits and unhealthy cravings? So that's a topic for another day, but who's in charge? They're going to eat what you buy. There's nothing wrong with a processed treat here and there. If you've been around, you know I subscribe to the 80-20 rule. So you eat whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense foods. Oh man, well, get her butt on here. So if you eat whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense foods 80% of the time, the other 20% really doesn't matter. And I'm telling you, if you get your kids into eating the healthy foods like string cheese and some nuts, or some Greek yogurt and some fruit, they are not going to miss the junk food, and they're going to be creating healthy patterns that last a lifetime. Now, so we have members that say, okay, absolutely not, Diane. My kids, my husband, they have to have it. It's got to be in the house. There's no way around it. So here's a couple things. Number one, buy single serving packs, because you're helping them, you're teaching them portion control, whether they want it or not. So this is a great time to teach them about the 80-20 rule, and about anything in moderation, and how to work health food, junk food into a healthy or a whole foods diet, So the other thing is, pick a designated junk food cabinet. So when I go and I do nutrition consults for our private clients, we pick a cabinet that's high up, out of sight, out of mind. The kids may have to get the step ladder, or you have to go out of your way to get that cabinet, and all of the junk food is there. So it's not in front of your eyesight, or it's not in front of your kids' eyesight every time you open a cabinet for something else. And I'll tell you what, how many times, and I do it, so you may also, but how many times do you open the cabinet or the refrigerator to get something, healthy? You're getting your fruit, or you're getting maybe your nuts out of the cabinet, and you see that junk food, and then it starts calling your name. And because you've said, I can't have it, it makes you want it more. So keep it out of sight, out of mind. Now, here's another thing. I want you to take, here's my challenge to you for the week. So I want you to take the first step and be consistent. And I sent out a newsletter a little bit ago to our subscriber list about stepping out of your comfort zone and taking that first uncomfortable step. So I'm challenging you here, right now, today. Take that first uncomfortable step, because I guarantee it will change your life and it will change the way you get through the holidays. So a lot of these tips may sound foreign to you and maybe they're a little scary, but I'm challenging you to take that step right now today. And Roxanne can tell you, we did a month or so ago a challenge, and we all gave up one thing that we thought if we gave it up just for a month, it would produce the biggest impact. And Roxanne gave up her beloved wine, and she thought she'd never be able to give up that wine. And she did not realize the impact it would have. And I think you were down, what, 4 or 5 pounds in a week? Or in the month, I think, and you hit that number you never thought you could reach. So taking that first step, having someone to challenge you, taking that first step is really the key to making changes that are going to have a huge impact on your life. So right now, the first day, day one, you'll do tomorrow, it's going to be go a day without any junk food. And that's nothing from a package with refined sugar where the ingredients list looks like a chemistry book. It's going to feel weird for a lot of you. I promise you it's going to feel awfully odd. But you just do it for one day. Just make that commitment. You're going to do it for one day. Then once you get past that day, you make it for the second day. And it's going to be, right, Roxanne, when you were doing it with the wine, you make it the second day. And it's going to be a little bit easier. And then you make it the third day, and it's going to be even a little bit more easier than that. And it's going to get progressively easier. And as your body adjusts and it kicks out all of the garbage and all of the toxins that were in your body, and as reaching for healthy, wholesome foods and not eating if you're not hungry, it will become part of your new normal. And your body and your mind are going to start to embrace these new healthy habits. I guarantee you, after a short period of time, after a week or two, your body's actually going to start craving the healthier foods, the more whole foods, and you will stop craving your junk foods. I know you think I'm crazy, but trust me, take this challenge. So yeah, there you have it. And here's the thing, every challenge that we've run in the last almost 3 years, people have told us that our cravings went away within the first 2 weeks, and sometimes within the first week. So I absolutely know these tips will work for you if you apply them. And then they also said that, and you know too, Roxanne, because you went through this, they also said that when on their unstructured day, because we do 80-20, on their unstructured day, when they ate the food they were craving or they were looking forward to all week, they said it didn't taste as good as they thought it would. So yeah, so thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this on the replay, and you have any comments, hit the like button. Let me know if it was good content for you. Drop a comment. Let me know if there's anything specifically you struggle with, how I can help you, or just if you enjoyed this, give it a like, drop a comment, and hit the links above for your freebies. And then I will see you on Thursday. I'm really excited for Thursday's live. It'll be a little bit later. Love you too, Roxy Roo. It'll be a little bit later because I've got a group session, but it will be around 7:30 or 8. But I'm going to give you 5 simple motivation tips that will actually work to get you through the holidays. And I know they work because we have had our clients for the last 3 years get through the holidays and maintain their weight, and some even lost it. So I absolutely know this will help you, and I look forward to sharing all the awesomeness with you over the next 9 weeks. So click the links above, grab your freebies. If you're curious what constitutes a junk food, I've got that on the transcript to this. And have an amazing night, and I'll see you guys Thursday.